little flip works. I can theoretically just gonna place it on the dash here. Well, that looks horrible. Let's see if there's another more convenient place to put this thing. I have this little mount that I use for doing these live streams, and it works pretty good. Although the whole appeal of this was that I can do this. I can just put this is a Galaxy Fold. If I can just set it down and stream without a tripod, I thought it'd be kind of fun. It's also the camera is the high-end camera because the screen's on this side, so it should be able to stream in 4K. And I'm streaming with a Starlink in the back here. Let's see if we can get this in this mount so that it's a better angle, so I don't look as crazy as I normally do. Let's see. This is a little tour of my rig. This is Tesla Trip, and I'm traveling from Wyoming to Denver to Las Vegas, back to Wyoming. And I am currently in Evanston, Wyoming right now, and I'm supercharging and live streaming off the Starlink Mini that's plugged into a little 150 watt inverter to power the Starlink. I tried powering directly off of the 12 volt USB-C, but the plug that I had that went to DC wasn't enough wattage. You need like really 100 watts, or at least about 100 watts to power the Starlink Mini. And the adapter I have wasn't capable of doing that. So let's see, how does the angle of this thing work? Okay, so I'm streaming live from a Galaxy Flip, the newest one that just came out. Galaxy Z Fold 6. I want to know if it sounds any better than my other live streams, or if I should be using the little lavalier. I should be able to do that with this. This is live, so I'm monitoring chat. If you guys have any questions, I do see that there's somebody watching. So any of you that are live, ask away. But I basically wanted to give an update on all the Cybertruck news that's been out in the past week, because there's been a fair amount of it. And maybe I'll make a more detailed video with pictures and stuff later, but I kind of wanted to have a live chat because this is what I've done for the past, I don't know, like 8 years or so. When I used to do it a lot more when there wasn't supercharging, and I'd be stuck at a charger for hours on end on a level 2. But now there's level 3 and supercharging, it doesn't take so long. Anyways, back to the Cybertruck news. The Foundation series has been opened up to everybody. So I don't know what this means if you've had a reservation for the past 5 years. If there's any priority at all anymore. I guess everybody got invites about a week ago, and then last Friday, or not this most recent Friday, so the Friday before that, everybody that had a reservation got an invite to configure. So it kind of opened up. Like, I have multiple reservations, and all of them are configurable right now. So if I go to my Tesla app, it shows that I've got 4 Cybertrucks available, the one that I actually own, and then I got 3 more that I can configure. So yeah, that's interesting. And then if I were to order any more of them, I want to wait until the Foundation series is over. And Elon said that the Foundation series would be coming to an end this quarter, or the production of the Foundation series. They've also posted that they've got the new dry cathode of the battery cells for the cyber cells. So it's a much more cost-effective battery production, so they can bring the cost down on the Cybertrucks. Which makes me wonder if there's going to be any different properties of these newer batteries, if they're not going to be able to charge as fast, or if they're going to be able to charge faster, or the longevity of them, or anything. But basically all the Founder series are going to have these more expensive cells, and the non-Foundation series are not going to have them more. Or they're going to have these newer cells with a different chemistry, It'll be interesting to see if there's any kind of differences other than price and production. So, yeah, so anybody can order a Cybertruck right now, and if you're looking for the all-wheel drive, it's essentially $100,000. You're paying a $20,000 premium. You don't get the tax credit, so it's actually more like a $27,500 premium if you want the all-wheel drive version. Yeah, so questions. Will Elon's political comments affect any purchasing decisions? So I try not to get political on this show. I never really have, but politics are interesting because you can say you want to stay out of them until they start affecting you. And so I've actually gotten into politics a lot in the past year when they were trying to shut down net metering in Wyoming. So I went and I testified against what they're proposing, which basically was just going to end it. And then they'd eventually figure out some kind of plan for the future. So they wanted to end it without a plan, which was horrible, in my opinion. And they didn't understand all the other technologies in terms of battery storage and vehicle to grid and how all these different things that should be considered. We don't have any time of use here in Wyoming. And then I ended up getting more into the Democratic side of things even more over the course of the year. And I got to drive the Cybertruck in a parade for our Fremont County Democrats. I ended up becoming the chairman. And it was interesting, like a lot of hand gestures, most of them good, and kids love the Cybertruck. They think it's the greatest thing ever, and it's super exciting. But then we had things like, people mooning us and throwing things at us, and saying that's bad for the environment, and just weird stuff, and thumbs down, and other single fingers being thrown out. But like I said, the haters in real life on the Cybertruck, middle of Wyoming, in person, it's very little, actually. Very few people come up in person and say something bad about the Cybertruck, or they just keep to themselves normally. The parade was the exception. And I wonder how that would change given the past week, because somebody gave Trump a Cybertruck and he said he liked it, and Tucker Carlson did a big old long review and ended up liking it. And Elon, with his comments, like, it's kind of the Elon mobile. So I don't know, it's weird. Like, I think it's flipping to the other side, and maybe that's for the best. I think, yeah, so the question was, well, it kind of has. I'm really looking at the other options, but man, I really love autopilot and full self-driving, and nothing else is even close. Like the Ford Blue Cruise is basically Gen 1 autopilot that allows for hands-free unless you blink, and then you get to put your hands back on the wheel, and it only works on freeways, which most of the roads I'm on are not freeways. And then Rivian, their system doesn't work at all except for on freeways for lane centering, and so it's basically useless to me. If I were to go to something other than a Tesla, I'd probably go back to the Rivian. I love the Rivian. The size was a little bit better for me, although there's three things holding me back from getting a Rivian. One, they have amazing lease deals, but they don't offer them in Wyoming. Okay, maybe there's four things. And then two, they don't have the power output. Like, I'm constantly using the power output on the Lightning and the Cybertruck to power things, and I can't power an air conditioner on a camper, or I can't charge another vehicle at any respectable speed off of a Rivian. It only has 1500 watt output on the AC, and you've got 300, or you've got a 30 amp 240 on the Lightning, and you got a 50 amp 240 on the Cybertruck. So the Cybertruck has everything that the Rivian has in terms of the suspension changing and a lot of the off-road capabilities, and even more so, I think. But it's big. I kind of like the smaller size of the Rivian and the look of it. It doesn't get as many hand gestures. But yeah, I'd like to get a beast Cybertruck, and ultimately sell the one I have at some point. But now the prices have plummeted on the Cybertruck because anybody can order one now, and you can take delivery of the all-wheel drive one within weeks or days. And the Beast, it looked like it was October to December if you order a Foundation series. Now, everybody knows supposedly the Foundation series is coming to an end, so you'll be able to acquire both variants for $20,000 less. And like I said, on the all-wheel drive version, it's going to be the tax credit, so it'll be like $28,000 less. So a lot of people are waiting. So they also opened up Mexico and Canada for orders, so people can order that way. And the ramp on the Cybertruck, man, they're just kicking those things out. I don't know what the rate is, but it is a lot. Like, you see them everywhere. There's a lot of Cybertrucks delivered, and they're making apparently is more than they can sell of the premium Foundation series. So the plan has always been to do the limited run for the first year, and apparently that was the Foundation series for the first year, and then next year, or maybe possibly even late this year, for the last quarter push, they're going to kick out the non-Foundation series. So it wouldn't surprise me, just depending on the orders. Like, if they're still sold out, they're not going to bother. They'll keep making more Foundation series. But if they're already gone through the entire reservation list, and then they started going back around a second time for the people who had multiple reservations, and then that only lasted a week, and then they opened it up to everybody, and then they added 2 other countries. Yeah, so the demand for the Foundation series is not nearly as high anymore as it was. Everybody's willing to pay the premium that was on the wait list for so long. So we'll see here in a week or two where things kind of pan out. Also, full self-driving still is not available for the Cybertruck. Supposedly it was supposed to be out the end of June, and now Elon was saying mid to late August. I think it'll go to employees the last day of August. And then it'll go to like limited release to more famous YouTubers than me in September, and then they'll announce that it goes wide at the unveiling of the Robotaxi, along with a wide release of the supervised hands-free for autopilot hardware 3. I bet they'll kind of like, that'll be the big Robotaxi and autonomy thing. They'll be like, yeah, you can drive with sunglasses on and no hands on the wheel on all the Teslas now with the full self-driving hardware. So I think that'll be like the big announcement and wide release, and they'll say, and it works great, and here's our numbers, and here's the Robotaxi, and how it's all going to work. So, yeah. And the Elon Musk thing. Yeah, it's got me second guessing. But the other thing about Elon, when he was asking for people to re-vote for that large payment, the $40 million or $1 billion bonus, there was a lot of valid arguments for both sides of that. Like, well, I mean, he's already the richest guy in the world, and that's just kind of an insane amount. But that was the deal they agreed to. Like, he didn't want any money, and he said, like, if I can make this company, huge, this is the kind of compensation I want. I want to be able to buy the stock price, or I want to buy more shares in the stock at the price currently, not the price in the future, which is an interesting concept. So apparently the giving him $40 billion actually was him buying more of the company. But he said he only wanted 23%, I believe, of the company total, because he said that he did not want to have ridden. And with the latest comments, I think it's about that time that maybe the board or the shareholders kind of need to check up on that comment about maybe he's a little bit too polarizing right now with a lot of his comments. I don't agree with like 90% of his political stuff anymore. It seems like he's just kind of flipped from what he used to be. So if you want to keep supporting Tesla but don't agree with the CEO, he doesn't own the entire company. It's not like X or Twitter where he literally owns the entire thing and can do whatever he wants. there are shareholders. There is a board of directors, albeit they're his family, but maybe they're the ones that need to talk some sense into him. Uh, he's. I listened to the book, the autobiography on Elon, and you kind of get into his mindset and how he works and thinks, and it's pretty interesting. And one of the things that they brought out is that, you know, the people in his life do affect him a lot, and his wives, you know, and stuff. They've had a big influence on him in different ways. So, you know, maybe he's just having a tough time with relationships, and he's gotten kind of wacky. I don't know. What do you guys think? So my charging is complete. I've got 100% charge, so I can drive home now. Thank you everybody for keeping me entertained. I still see there's several people watching. Now's the time to comment if there's any last questions that you have. I wonder if I even need to go to Rock Springs. Like, I'm in Evanston, Wyoming, and
in 500 feet, turn right onto Wasatch Road, then turn right onto Overthrust Road.
I could skip Rock Springs unless I want lunch, because if I go the other route, it's literally the middle of nowhere for 3.5 hours, and it's like 10 o'clock. All right, looks like everybody's dropping off. I gotta go. Thank you so much. We'll talk again soon. Please like, share, subscribe, post in the comments on any suggestions that you might have for future videos, and let me know how the audio worked on this. If I should use the lavalier, if it's not super clear, if it's noisy, and the quality of the video, because I'm using a new phone. What looks better, the iPhone or the Samsung? Thanks. Bye.